This weekend we have faced Los Ratones for the NLC finals in Stockholm. Here's a full recap.
Amazing, I'm walking the wrong way. Wow, okay, so how long did it take you? There's so many pieces.
Are you ready for the NLC Grand Final?
My name is Kevin, known as Hackali, and I am the head coach of Verdant. This all began in December when I started to create some analyzing videos for Los Ratones when I've left Nord by the end of December. And I had a crazy hope of joining them as an assistant coach alongside Cadrel. The community was very positive, but unfortunately, the videos were very likely unnoticed, which is understandable. And even if they were, well, who was I anyway, you know? So I stopped uploading after 34 days as well and joined Verdant mid Spring Split, which was late April as well. After they've decided to kick their coach because there were some behavior issues, and they gave me the opportunity to actually improve the project while also having the chance to face Los Ratones. And despite the short amount of time to maneuver, we managed to finish fourth, and I was fully in charge of Summer's roster building project, being fully entrusted by my staff as well. The roster ended up being LCLT, Dunka, Sencox, Devon, and Torre, three ex-LEC players and two very good players as well. And I was very excited to just begin the split right off the bat. The scrims initially, the results, everything was going pretty well. The chemistry was definitely the best I've ever witnessed and assembled in a project in my hands. And I didn't really want us to become stale because the main problem in this type of projects is you might end up becoming stale, especially when the results are going well. So what I look forward to do was to keep on improving by establishing weekly collective and individual goals for everyone and even for myself while tracking the team state and necessities, because that would give me the information of what we needed to work upon and just increase and improve step by step out of the way as well. NLC started off pretty nicely in the seeding stage. We only lost Los Ratones. For those who haven't seen it, we finished second when we were ahead in draft. We were ahead in early game too, but unfortunately we couldn't translate the game into victory by the end. But hey, at least it ended up being a cinema game, and yeah, they stole the Elder, and they stole also the victory with the plot armor that they've assembled. But jokes aside, in playoffs, I was mainly disappointed with our series against Rich Gang. That was a result that we were not expecting, and with all due respect to the opponent too, it was a loss that it shouldn't really happen at all. And if we were playing in our normal standards, what we did in scrims, we would have won easily, which wasn't really the case when we lost. So thankfully, in the lower bracket run, eventually we've locked back in, and I took down my ex team Nord. And despite them having very experienced names in their rosters, such as Vizicachi, Yanko, Zwaru, Ido, and Treats, they didn't really click together as a team since the beginning, which made the series outcome fairly easier despite our dominant performance. So yeah, even though you can assemble really good names all together, it's still very important that you do some chemistry read within your roster just to make sure that it functions well together throughout the split. You can't always know for sure, but I doubt that the chemistry read was properly done before assembling that project, in my perspective. 2 days after, we completely destroyed Rich Gang 2 with a clean, apologies, 3-0 sweep, not only granting main stage for EMEA, but we also guaranteed a place in the finals and go to Stockholm. I still can't acknowledge how big that was, especially because it's my first year as a coach. And the team I've always looked up to join, now it was nearly becoming a full face-to-face in a LAN event in Sweden too for the finals. The flight day arrived, I wasn't really nervous or afraid about the event because, first of all, it didn't really click the dimension that really was going to happen. I only understood when I went into the walkouts and I saw everyone cheering for me. Shout out to Los Ratones community, to be fair, because they were really wholesome, and despite us being the opponents, everyone was cheering for every single player and to myself too, and it was very wholesome and very respectful from the community. To be fair, so it was even more special to me personally, and it felt great. It was the first LAN as a head coach, as I said, and especially against those Ratones. It had everything to be special about. But yeah, once again, I wasn't really afraid. I wasn't really nervous. I was just, enjoying the moment and uh, how immediate everything was being in front of me. The hotel was good. The food, to be fair, it wasn't really the best, but it was awesome to meet my player staff in the media day. It was kind of underwhelming because it was rather short, and I was expecting more from the production too. About the series itself, I'd say I really liked the outcome of the first draft. Our team was very comfortable. Of course, Ratones having Shogath, Syndra, Zyra Khan, their composition also does good, but we've had different strengths. We wanted to play for the side lane picks. We wanted to play with Telepath and Global Mobility along with Bard and be very quick because those were some picks that we didn't want to give to our opponent too. So the first draft was very good, and unfortunately, there was a really big delay for the first game to begin because of some issues that happen, and they shouldn't really happen when you have an event of this dimension. But unfortunately, despite the good draft, well, we've had some issues after a good early game, and they exploited that pretty well. First game was very good initially, but yeah, they definitely deserved the win. Draft from the second game, it wasn't as good as the first one. It was still fine, but I do believe that the third one was really where it was my fault. I take full responsibility for the third draft. I should have known better. I've also done, in my perspective, a really good prep for the series. I'm not going to show it all, but yeah, I'm very proud of the work I did with my players, with the prep I did. It was also the first time that I got to draft on stage with only a notebook. I'm usually aware of doing drafts with an Excel sheet by my side, so it was kind of different, but that is not an excuse. Game 3 draft is definitely on me, and that game wasn't really a game where there was much history. So yeah, not much to say about that. Los Ratones were just better. They managed to get a clean sweep. After the series finished, I congratulated Cadril in the backstage. I didn't really get to talk much to him because first of all, I was upset with the loss because even though they were favorites, I was still expecting us to do better or at least get a game out of them at the very minimum. We were confident for the series and we were performing well. And second reason, I didn't really want to bother him. Like he has more stuff to do. He doesn't really know me, so why would I be annoying? So yeah, I am still incredibly proud of my players, my work, our progression, and commitment into the project. I want to give also a special shout out to my manager Deskman for the crazy effort he's made during the entire event too. It was incredible for sure, and I want to thank our owner Sammy for the trust in me and also my players essentially. And now, well, our run is not really over because the main stage of EMEA is coming along the way. We will be the second seed of the NLC coming through, and it will begin a bit later than expected. But we're fairly hungry to perform better than we did for sure. It was a pleasure to be a part of these finals. To be completely honest, it's a real dream come true, and I'm very happy to be creating this video. First of all, looking back 1 year ago, I would never imagine that this would happen. I'm incredibly grateful, and I won't stop giving my all to go even further. So much love to you guys, whether you're Los Ratones fans or if you guys like me or Verdant, doesn't really matter. Much love to you guys, and thank you for watching this video, and I hope that I will get to face Los Ratones once again. Much love.